Hi there, it's Bernie here at Connections Consulting. How are you doing today? I wasn't going to talk much about the election down in New York or North America, down in USA today, but I had a few people asking me my opinion, so I think I'll give one a little bit here. And, sometimes you just want to stay out of stuff and let, things happen and the chips fall where they may. But Donald Trump may go another election call. Sometimes nobody steps up. Maybe this guy, and I'm surmising here a little bit, really felt like he should step down after one term and manage his business affairs better instead of the political cry where it's like a wolf. Nobody's ever happy. And the media can bash you 9 times out of 10. It's rare that you get a good contributing intermediary that comes in and gives you a good, honest view of anything. It's like a frenzy, like piranhas in a river sometimes. And anyways, I personally, you'd have to drag me into politics, like kicking and fighting, if I was ever to get in myself. I'd rather manage my own business affairs. Unless the geopolitical climate got out of control and I had to step in, I might. But I'd like to just matter by doing what I'm meant to be doing. And I know it's this right now, my consulting firm. Anyways, so my thought on Joe Biden, I heard an analyst talking on the weekend, and I want to share this with you. I think it was a very good, wise comment, one of the good ones I've heard in a long time. And I respect and appreciate watching media. Sometimes it's just real boring finding specific things in your phone and computer when you can just sit and drone in front of the television and hear what they have to tell you. I kind of like that, actually, a lot some days, when I'm watching what's going on in the world in general. I'm a generalist. You get tired of being a specific technician with all the little avenues and aspects of your life. But it's good that we have this modern intuitiveness when it doesn't interfere and try to override what you're doing. Sometimes that's a prompt. But anyways, this analyst said, and it was a good thought, and it was very clear, and I think people are kind to this. He said, this really isn't about Joe Biden or Donald Trump, one versus the other in the North American public political realm. What it's about is people are going to respond and vote for whoever they believe the man and or the party both can do market growth. It's about market growth versus no market growth in the economy. And it's come down to that. We're all wanting our survival and our livelihood and our jobs. We want a living beyond today, but we need to take care of today too. This business is your issue today. You got to take care of your business. And so that was a good comment by that analyst. I tend to agree with that without going into all the other geopolitical realm and comments of what he said. Market growth economy versus no market growth economy. Who can do it? Who can build the trust in the economy again, in the people voting for the right economy? And will it be done? Can it be done? And who's going to instill the faith in the people that it can be done? In God we trust, all that, right? Like we've seen in a good American movie or two. I guess Joe Biden, the one comment I would have, and I think all political realms surmise in this, that they're going to take care of not only the economy, but all the social aspects, the climate, the defense systems, education, all the geopolitical stuff around the world. They all kind of surmise that, but Republicans or the right wing in Canada, conservative governments tend to lead with the economic foot because it provides the fuel for all other things. Left wing, socialist, Democrat, or up here, New Democrat, and left wing leading liberals, left of center, not right of center, tend to lead with social aspects, take care of the people, but eventually the money well dries out. And So people are going to keep those things in mind as well, right? In their actual beliefs and views about what drives an economy, enterprising, not surmising, enterprising driven economics. But Joe Biden, I guess the one question I would have about this man, and I don't really know him personally, I've just watched him speak on TV a bit. I don't have a lot of history on him because I haven't looked into it. But my gut instinct is wondering, is this man a national defense security person? Will he think to protect homeland security? What does he believe in his fighting rule of life? What is he? I don't know. What would a pacifist think? A person that would not take up arms to defend country. And there's a good movie a few years ago called Hacksaw Ridge you might want to look at about this Seventh-day Adventist kid went to war and he refused to take up arms. And they had him along as a medic in their crew, and they took the ridge, and he saved and rescued more lives by dragging people's bodies out and getting them healing. And he never carried a gun, and he wouldn't. It was against his beliefs. But I don't know what Joe Biden believes, but if he is such a man that doesn't believe in taking up arms and stuff like that, what's homeland security then? How do you run a country? How does a president lead a country who wouldn't believe in a national security defense, a homeland security tactic, if that's the case? And I'd want to know more in that realm because, gut instinct would say every man can run his house how he wants, but when you're leading a whole country, not everybody's prepared to lay down like Stephen the martyr in Bible times, in ancient scripture, and say, "Forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they're doing," as they beat his head in and crush it with stones. Some people might want to live in their land and keep the borders rigid and strong around it as they try to dwell in trade economics around the globe. So that'd be my question of that man. And how can we get along in those times that we're in now? Because a lot of us are interspersed nowadays. And, people are living everywhere, but people abroad are getting in trouble too. And we have spies in our nation, and people are locked up in house arrest. We all know the Meng Wanzhou, CEO of the phone company from China, and our two Canadians we need to bring home. And actually, why don't we do that right now? Honestly, as a side note, I'm ad-libbing a bit here. I wasn't planning on this, but I will do it. Why don't we just bring them home? Let's get a trade deal going with China, Justin Trudeau. There was a murderer just being let out in Edmonton here last week until the family contested. And he was in for 5 years, locked up. He was proven to need medication to stabilize himself. And he was going to have unrestricted access, unescorted into the community. He could go free anywhere. And the family contested and went back into court for a trial to not have that happen. At 5 years sentence he served after killing 5 people in Alberta in 2014. And so why can we do this? If we're letting somebody like that out and it was potentially going to be unrestricted and unescorted in the community, why can't we just let our CEO from China go home from Vancouver, let her go home, get the Americans on side? It was their fraud charge. And then bring our 2 prisoners back, make the agreement equal. 2.5 years sentence for fraud. Maybe that's enough if a guy's only doing 5 years now for murder. Maybe she should go home. Let's get our guys home for Christmas, okay? Donald Trump brought home 54 hostages. I saw him on the news talking with 6 or 7 of them a couple weeks ago. And they all told their story for a minute and how thankful they were for the American government getting them home. Let's get a 3-way street going here. Donald Trump, our American president from Canada. What U.S. and Canada do a lot together. Kind of what happens in America tends to happen in Canada too. And let's be a peacekeeper, Justin, and get these guys home. They've been in jail. They're missing their families. That's 2 years. And it's just could be a sweet deal. Meet on a ship in the middle of the ocean if you have to have a halfway point, an aircraft carrier. Change these guys, walk across from one end to the other, trade them so that nobody gets duped, and we send our guy there, our lady, and then the two guys don't come home. Like, who can you trust nowadays, right? So on that note, you still got to try your best. This economy, everything doesn't work like we think it used to in the old days when I was a kid, and when people lived more by some of the ancient scriptures and believed them, and they felt in the realm they were living there was going to be a severe consequence. I don't know. I don't want to put anybody down. There's lots going on. Our own prime minister, right or wrong, has had to defend himself in 3 criminal trials in his one term of 1 and a bit. And I mean, anybody can be blamed for anything. There's all kinds of issues that are going on, and so you always got to just do your best. And I know someday the Lord will judge us for what we did. And to do nothing is to tribute a fame. It's infamy to do nothing, to tribute a fame of nothing. And I would rather try something, as lame as it may be put, in a world where you can't get occupants or people to agree or trust other people. And often people let you down, people lie to you, they don't follow through. I would rather try to make something, even if it was a semi-lame duck, and make it grow up to be a goose somehow. I once saw a goose sitting up in a tree branch when we were hunting prairie chicken when we were kids. Now, how can that be? They have webbed feet. They can't even clamp the tree branch. Some weird things happen sometimes. But let's get these prisoners home. And you know what? I'm going to shut this ad lib video off, and we'll start again on what I was really going to talk about in a minute. See you soon. Bernie May, Connections Consulting. A good consultant has a viewpoint, because that shows you how we think when we manage your business and take it over from you for a minute to help you pro it together so it goes forward well. Amen. Enough of that. wconnectionscon.ca.